go. Come on, let's go.
Sure, I smoked weed when I was young. It was how we rebelled against the man, and it was fun. Then life changed. Family, responsibilities, and breaking the law didn't seem like such a good idea. Now it's legal, the medical benefits are widely known, but it's all mass produced. Just not my style. Then I discovered Elevated by Claudine. Elevated by Claudine, a locally owned, female owned, alternative medicine practitioner in the Union Crossing Shopping Center in Glendale. Elevated by Claudine is 100% unique, a CBD, mushroom, and plant medicine store on a mission. Everything is locally sourced and ethically made, where everything you purchase promotes holistic wellness. I've come to trust Elevated by Claudine as I travel my spiritual and wellness journey with the help of plant medicine, custom made just for me. Get the whole story at Elevated by Claudine, spelled CLAUDENE.com.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products. Please use these products responsibly. You must be 21 or older.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome in to the Anne and Claudine live show. Come in and join us for a live where we keep it real, raw, and flowing. Where we talk about life, truth, and healing, and the perspective that actually shifts you forward with some laughs and some fun. Come for the combo, stay for the vibes. So, hello. I'm Claudine, and I am an alternative medicine practitioner. I have my own healing facility in Glendale, Arizona. I help people get off of pharmaceuticals, street drugs, alcohol, and onto plant-based medicine. I do create my own medicine. I grow it and I dose it. I'm a dosing specialist, and that is what I do. So I help people be better and to detox them and to get you guys off of your addictions and onto healthier habits, patterns, I guess you can say. Now, what Anne and I talk about today, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that we are not doctors, we are not nurses, we don't know much about the medical field period, the Western medical field or the Australian medical field, because Anne is from Australia. But we just come with our bold perspectives, you guys, and we're only here for entertainment purposes. So that's it. That's all I have to say to keep us covered. And today, Anne's name is going to be Monique. She's changing her name to Monique. So I'll let her explain.
I had a dream last night. You froze. I don't know if I froze or you froze, but we are frozen. I'll wait for Claudine to come back on.
Shit.
Ta-da! I didn't know if I froze or you froze. So
I lost connection totally. We just got started. We can see what kind of day it's going to be already. Okay, so go ahead, and you can go ahead and talk about you and your energy work and let the people know what you do.
Well, today I'm Monique because last night I had a dream, and it was one of I have dreams that are like very real, but it was one of those real dreams. And I was taking care of this little girl, settling her. And as I walked off, she's run up and she's like, Monique. And I knew it wasn't my name, but I'm like, no, she's talking to me. So I look back at her and she's gave me the most beautiful little smile and a little wink as if to say yep, I was talking to you, lady. So Monique for the day. And Monique means the meaning of the name, because I woke up, I'm like, what does that name mean? It means advisor, counselor, or to advise. It is often associated with wisdom and has roots in Latin or Greek. So I like that. I'm a wise advisor.
Yeah, I like it too. I thought it was beautiful. That's really cool. That's really, yeah. So I guess in your dream, yeah.
They're trying to tell me there's something in me that I need to tune into.
For sure. Yeah.
It's my new psychic name is Monique. When I do psychic readings or anything, I'm gonna That's who we're going to call upon is Monique. Monique's going to do the psychic reading, not Anne. Anne's too quiet. We need Monique to come to the surface.
It's true.
It is. It's funny.
It is. And that was
Yeah.
a good dream.
That's
Really good dream.
It was a good dream because like I've actually been struggling to dream for like a few months now and like kind of remember things. I know I dream and I feel it, but I've been waking up and like I can't remember what I dreamt. But like the last couple nights, I've had some very like real dreams. I wake up and I remember and I know what it's telling me. So I've been like real happy about that because it's like, yes, it still works. The connection is still there. It's a bit cloudy sometimes, but it still works. So, yeah.
That's funny because you used to be such a good dreamer.
I know. I've had some crazy dreams. Like, I've dreamt like of Dr. Fauci and seen that whole fallen angel agenda that he brought in with that COVID stuff. Like, I've been shown some very amazing things in my dreams that were very spot on. So I'm like, I know I can do it, but I need to. It's very hard with dreams because you're not controlling any of it. You're only kind of like putting it out there. Like I might ask a question, like, what is this? And then I'll receive the answer in my dream, but I can't make it happen. When I receive the answer or I receive the message, it's great, but I can't make it happen. So when it happens, I get really excited. Like I remember with Dr. Fauci, I kept asking, how does a human put this kind of stuff on the earth knowing that it's so bad and it's such a lie and it's poison and they just get millions of humans to go down this path of injecting this stuff in their body and I'm like, how does this happen? And I asked this question for months and months and months. And then one night I dreamt it and I got the answer. But like, yeah, when it came, but I couldn't make it come.
No, you can't. Sources timing is sources timing. I'm always asking questions, and the answer always comes right when I need it.
Yeah, when you're supposed to know.
Just the way I need it with the synchronicities that need to match up, and it is a divine connection with source that allows us to have these types of synchronicities that match up right when we need them to. Which I always say it's helpful because God always makes us look smart. So
yes, definitely.
yes. But so I'm going to get into a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to do an opening statement that I wrote up, and then I'm going to let Anne go ahead and talk about what she researched. There's actually a couple of topics we wanted to touch on today that have been circulating in the news and on online conversations. One of them involves David Wilcock. His name is funny, Anne. When you said that to me, I started laughing. I go, his name is awful.
When I first heard this story, I thought it was fictional because of the name. I thought it was a fiction because it was coming up on my timeline, like on my Facebook, and I just saw the name and it's saying tragic died, and I'm just like, this is fictional because that name is definitely fictional. Wilcock.
That's funny. Yeah, it's awful. It's not a very good name, but there have been reports claiming he allegedly died by suicide. I want to be very clear. This is still something people are questioning, and it's not verified, you guys. Widely confirmed information that supports all of the speculation circulating online. But what I find interesting is the reaction and the conversations that have followed. Now, David Wilcock was kind of a big deal in the spiritual community, I have to say. He did do talks in Sedona. I'm not that far from Sedona at all. I'm only 2 hours away. So that's how I know about David Wilcock. And he's on Gaia TV. He has his own shows. I used to watch Gaia TV a long time ago. Wilcock built much of his platform discussing hidden systems, advanced sciences, and ideas like secret programs. He was known for shows like Cosmic Disclosure, documentaries like Cosmic Secrets, where he talked about alleged whistleblowers and undisclosed technologies. Regardless of what you believe about his claims, his work raised a bigger question: how we interpreted information and who shaped our perception of reality. So, with that, what did you find out interesting about all of this once I brought it to your attention, Yanks? I know you were like, I don't know who he is. And I'm like, I know, but either do I. I'm not an expert on him. I'm far from that. I wasn't a follower, or nor was I, you know, even interested in the guy. But like I said, there was a few things that he talked about that I really, really resonated with. And so I know you and I are a lot alike as far as we let people talk, 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 especially these very popular, well known spiritual teachers, I guess you can call them. Um, and what they claim, their claims, because like I always say, and whatever they say in there is 1% truth about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about them. Like what
Yeah,
has
there's 1% truth.
stuff.
Yeah. And the stuff that they talk about and they claim. And like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
believe that he worked for the Secret Service program. I believe that he worked with the shadow government, the cabal.
yeah.
He's part of it.
You
That's
would
what
have
I
to. You would have to, but to be like to have people come to you and tell you like stories like victims of that whole satanic elite stuff, and they would come and tell him the stories and to where he had evidence of like these bad things happening and blood rituals and stuff. Like to have that kind of connection with people coming to you, you would have to be working with very high ups that allow you to be in these circles. Like you're not, it's not like me just hanging out and, you know, it's these people work with very big issues and very like dangerous issues, I guess. Like I don't know, that whole
Very
elite,
dangerous. And he's been around for a long time.
yeah,
In and out of the spotlight. He's been around for he's a long time. He was
yeah.
on what was that show called? I can't remember it, but it was very famous. It'll come to me. Actually, I can
I've
probably look
never,
it up.
I
Hmm?
don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know a lot when it comes to like the spiritual community because of my upbringing. I very like much turned away from anything spiritual. So anyone claiming to like meditate and astral travel, and I would like be like, no, no, like goodbye. I don't listen to that kind of stuff. But now, since 2020, since everything I've gone through, I let myself listen, and Elizabeth April, I'll listen to a bit of her stuff. These feeds that come through, and it's the spiritual community. Like I'll listen to what they have to say. I always make my own discernment. David Wilcock, I've never ever heard of him, but the little bit that I have listened of him since he's died, I think is very like profound. I think he says some very amazing things that are extremely spot on. My whole brain just went, whoa, like this makes sense. Like he explained how we have this satanic cult running our system right now. And that's because the Roman Empire was divided, and it was the Christians and it was the satanic side. And they fought to be at the top. And the Satanists, they didn't do it because it's like we want to be evil. They had Baal, Baphomet, these actual entities and demons that they worked with that were helping them. And the way they could connect to these entities and stuff were through blood rituals, blood sacrifices, the children. But it was getting them places. They had an empire. They had their whole thing set up on this actual satanic religion. And the Christian and the satanic Roman Empire went against each other, and the Christian one won. But once they won and they took them over and they started investigating and looking into these things, and they saw that these entities and things they were feeding through human sacrifice and blood rituals and stuff were real. And I guess they fell for it. Just like most people, they fall for what is fastest and quickest in becoming rich and powerful. And so maybe like it just tempted them, and they saw, wow, we can actually get all this stuff done, but from ground level. And these entities, if we feed them and do these things like these other people did, it's going to work for us. And they just started doing it, I guess. So that's something he explained, and it made a lot of sense to me. And I went,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
I just think the things that he was teaching were very like, he researched it, he knew what he was talking about. He was experiencing whatever he was experiencing on ground level, and knowing that what he was saying was the truth. And that's what I get from David Wilcock. um, Another thing I found very interesting that he said, just a little snippet, was time travel. And he was explaining about time travel and astral traveling, and how timelines have been shifted and changed. And he explained it in a very simple way. And he was saying they do these blood rituals, and they can get, someone in a state of mind where they can leave that body during this ritual, where it's very satanic. They're doing blood, they're drinking blood. It's a
Being
very,
disciplines.
yeah, it's very intense what they do. And
Yeah.
these people can go out of their body, and they can astro travel, and they can enter a body like some old, some little beggar or some bad man on the street, and they can enter their human body, and they can knowingly, their consciousness is now in that body, and they can go kill someone of some importance, and it can shift a timeline. And I heard that, and I just thought, well, if that's what he's saying they do, what's to not say that something is like time traveling and gone to his body and made him pick up a gun and shoot himself? Like, if these things can happen, that means they can, because look at it. Since it's happened, a timeline has changed, because I reckon a lot of people are like talking that wouldn't have talked about all this kind of stuff, and it's like awakening people. So that is a shift in timeline. And this is the kind of time travel I guess he's talking about, is,
Mhm.
where things happen, people die, these tragic things. Maybe someone just entered his body, and that happened. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it was just very interesting. That's one of the examples that he pulled up. And I just thought, isn't it funny? He was one of those people who publicly said, I'm not suicidal. If I kill myself, it wasn't me, and all those types of things that a lot of these people say publicly, so that when it happens, we kind of question a bit. And here he is, he takes his own life. Like, why does he take his own life? Everyone usually goes on this crazy train, or, oh, that sent him insane. But what if it was time travel and someone jumped into his body and managed to get him to pull that gun? He talked about it, so I'm not I'm not Elizabeth April claiming this. I'm just saying, okay? So
Oh,
nobody attack me about this. I just found his stuff very interesting.
yeah. I'm gonna say at this point, I think it was forced.
I feel for it. I actually feel a forced presence in him. I feel fear for some reason. For some reason, I feel fear, and like he didn't want to do it, but like there was a force. That's why I'm saying maybe someone time traveled in his body and like forced that gun on himself. I don't know, but I.
To me, it feels forced. Everything that he was talking about up to the time that he died, his last videos, about I would never commit suicide, and then now you doing your perspective of hearing him talk about time travel, and I do believe in all that stuff, and they have access to things that we don't have access to. Okay, now remember, all about them is about being immortal. They're fighting for to stay immortal or to be immortal, because they took our immortal from us. They made us mortal. That's what they steal from us.
Mhm.
Keep us, because I believe that we were all immortal at one time. But we're so dense, and we've been plagued with so much darkness, that all of that's been taken from us, because they harnessed that from us. They harnessed our energy, and they're all about being immortal and keeping their immortal, and they can do this stuff. So what you're saying makes complete sense to me. um,
Mhm.
Total sense. I like that perspective that you came up with. Uh,
It's an
but
interesting
yeah,
perspective.
it is. It's a very interesting time, isn't it? It
It
really
is,
is.
absolutely. It's I find it so interesting how, like, these things are happening and people are just like freaking out, awakening, like, because of these types of things happening in this, like, I guess the spiritual community, but it's reaching more than the spiritual community because I guess it's kind of gone a little bit more mainstream. And yeah, like it's to me it's changing timelines, like it's speeding up timelines. I can I feel timelines in me, and sometimes things happen. I can tell that's the matrix just speeding up that
Oh,
timeline.
it's going so fast. Like right now, I feel like we're a little behind on this. Like we probably should have talked about this last week. You know what I mean? Even though this just happened, not too, not. I think he just died like not even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit behind the eight ball on this one because I didn't at first really have a reaction to it because I was just like, oh well, that's odd, that's weird, and then
I
I
think
just
there's a lot more
all
to
of these
unfold.
ideas. Yeah, they just wouldn't leave me alone. That's when I messaged you. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think there's a lot more to unfold with his death, but
Yeah.
because it's like, I think it's having a bit of a ripple effect. Like it's a slow ripple. Because at
Mhm.
first, it's like, did he actually? It's hearsay that he's committed suicide, and then it turns out he is, and then it's like, oh, but who is he? And then we start seeing videos of him saying, "I'm not suicidal." So then people are like, just normal people. Oh, who is this David Wilcock? Why has he been killed? Why is he dead? What's the suicide? So I just see like a very slow ripple effect with what happened to him. And I think it's only early days. I feel like it's just going to keep snowballing with who he was, why did it happen. Also, all the other scientists and researchers of the paranormal that were existent. I have a list here. So since 2022 to 2026, 5 are confirmed missing. 5 of them are confirmed missing, and all of them went missing last year and this year. 2025 and 2026, we have 5 confirmed missing scientists, researchers of the paranormal. Dead since 22 to 26, we have 10. So that's a lot of people. And there was a woman who was very similar to David Wilcock. She did all that kind of astro traveling, but like as a scientist, she was like researching it. She wasn't just like, we talk about astro traveling, and I know in the spiritual community, a lot of people are like, oh, I astro travel, and I did. I'm not talking about people who are like just astro travel like this. I'm talking about proper research and scientist people that do it in a scientific way, which is science and spirituality. That's the man's version, and then there's the spirit version.
Mhm.
So there's 10 of them that have, confirmed dead. And that lady was another one like David Wilcock who openly said throughout her whole time of researching, and she was actually quite fearful, they said, had a lot of anxiety about it. And she was always saying, if I die, if anything happens to me, if I'm not suicidal, I didn't kill myself, da 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 da. And she ended up becoming like taking a gun to her head and shooting herself too. So
Yeah. And these are something that you just don't see them actually wanting to do. Like I
no,
get
they
it's
say
forced
openly.
and it's not something they actually want to do. Those are the two things that I get from
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There's something very strange about just taking that gun and shooting yourself, but you have
Right?
so many times, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not suicidal, and it's like you're trying to tell the public that if this happens, it's not me. It's not, and I don't think it's them. I don't feel it's them. I feel a force behind them doing this,
Mhm.
even if it's just full, complete fear. Because during their astro traveling, some entity has connected itself and you know taken over
I
that.
do know. I do know. I do understand. That's why I say that, and you've heard me say this, and I'm probably going to sound like a broken record. Stay in your lane. You're human.
Yeah, I
Stay in
believe it.
your lane. Stay away from the black magic. I have also traveled many times. I've had those experiences mostly as a young person. Um, when I was younger, I used to astral travel. I used to have all these weird experiences. I could walk around my house. I saw myself sleeping on the bed. I'm like, what is this? Then I learned later on, as you know, you've been working with me for almost 7 years that are going
Yeah.
on 7 years that, yeah, I've done that. I've been there, but I stopped doing that ever since I've been with you. I told you, okay, I'm astral traveling inside my body. And that's the only thing I can talk about as close as it comes to astral traveling because I have been inside my body. I don't dream. You know that. I'm not a dreamer. I don't dream. But when I wake up, and especially from a really good meditation, and I was inside my insides,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I know
Astral
what's
travel
wrong with
inside your
me.
body.
Yeah. Which I think that's kind of fascinating. I've never met anyone else who's ever told me that they astral travel inside their body. Um,
Mhm.
but it has happened to me, and it's happened to me numerous times. But then again, like I say, I stay in my lane. I think astral traveling inside of myself is probably the safest type of astral traveling anyone could do.
Yeah. I think I've astral traveled in my body. I've definitely gone inside my body and I was swimming around and I could see like
Yeah. Well, we've shared
I
our
went,
story. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We
And I
both
went,
have
oh
had our.
shit, how do I get back out?
I remember when I was in my ovaries. I'll never forget that one. That's when I realized, oh crap, I'm in my own body. When I kept hitting my G spot.
Now I've had a few weird experiences. I know I've hovered. I hovered up this like on top of my body when I got really, really, really sick, and I like was so convinced that I was in some kind of like game, like, and they were gonna wake me up and say, "Oh, you've panicked and you took on a bunch of water." Like I was just waiting to be unplugged from the game, but I was like definitely not in my physical body because it was in so much pain. I didn't understand what was happening, and I know I hovered because I remember I would be working at the restaurant and I would see myself writing orders, and I would just look at my hands and be like, "That's not me." Well, like who's writing that? And then I learned from the indigenous that Tim taught me. He said one of the things that the indigenous believe is at times when your body's really struggling and stuff, the spirit can go above your body and hover, and it's kind of like it's a way of like surviving the pain of what's happening inside your body. I was like, hey, that makes sense. Because I wasn't sure if I was possessed or like what was happening.
What's
I was
going
like,
on? And we
yeah.
all can do this. These are all gifts that we have. They, like I said, we've just, they've been taken from us. They're not used for black magic. And I think it's just best for it all to come naturally. I'm all about letting things happen naturally. And
I
then
believe
that way, I think it's a safer and you have a better understanding of it when it's just something that happens natural. I feel like there was a time in spirituality, like if you couldn't astral travel, remote view, what's the other stuff that they have out there? Astral travel, remote view, clairvoyance, psyche, all these words that they use. If you don't have any of those abilities, then you didn't fit in. You were, that it was just another click, just another trend.
Yeah.
But you mentioning about all these scientists that have gone missing or have died, what do you think about that?
I think it's planned. I think they're being taken out. I believe that they are coming and stumbling across real full on truths. And anytime you work or you sit at these levels, celebs, anybody at these levels, they are always being watched. They are always being monitored. They are not just freely doing their stuff. Look at Tesla. As soon as he was like on that mark of discovering something, what happened? They went in, the CIA went in and whoever it was went in and they arrested him. They took all his stuff and they confiscated it. And this is just what happens. Like you are not just quietly there getting away under the radar when you hit these levels. So I believe they get taken out.
Because we're creators. We of the basic, just normal human beings are creators, and we create, everything. And when the cabal comes in, when you create something really, helpful, but that doesn't create money for them, currency, what do? They come in
Mhm.
and they force you. They force you to sell that product.
Yeah. Or they just do away with you and you go
They
missing.
force you to sell that product. and for pennies on the dollar, for nothing. For nothing. They give you nothing for your product. They go, they take it over, they make a lot of money. And if you don't do it, we all know what happens.
You go bye bye.
You go bye bye.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
like I always say God's got your kills because He is your, but they also have your kills too, to a
They
certain
also have your
degree.
kill switch. When you at these levels, they have your kill switch a lot of the
Yep,
time. Like
they do.
all the
They
anyone famous, any celeb, anyone seen like that, they all have a kill switch from on a human level. Someone has that kill switch, and they can end their life. And that's, I guess, that's what is signing, your life over, or signing over your soul and stuff. That is part of it. Is you're signing over for someone else to have that permission to, get that kill switch. And if you don't do what they want and you're not saying the right things, that's why anytime for me that I see someone of any kind of, you know, ranking in our world of any sort, and they're starting to say things and they're speaking out about the elite and they don't get killed and they keep going, I just always go, you know what? It's not that big of a deal because they're being allowed to say this. Like, listen for some people, but there's nothing that profound. They're probably saying something that a million other people have said. But anyone who speaks out and they don't like it, and they look at it as a threat, they get taken out. That's just how it is. No one is out there getting to speak the true truths to us without
No.
getting off.
Oh, we got some comments coming in. Let me see
Hello.
some comments. We had some. Did I erase? Okay, we had Nova. Did I lose some comments here, you guys? Hold on, give me a second. Oh, there they go. Okay, so we've got Victor in. He says, "Hey." We got Nova. Happy day, ladies. Love you. We love you too. We miss you. We got Victor who says, "Hey."
Hello.
And then we've got Victor again that says, "I am Victor. I'm Vast Victor Adam Scott Turnage."
Yes. We were having a conversation today, and he feels that is one of his past life names, Vast. So we were
I
doing
love it. I
hi.
love it. Bill Gates is messed up too. Yes, you're going to like this conversation here, Victor. Um, okay, we got a lot of comments. I'm sorry, you guys. I had it covered with all my notes.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell people what I think. What Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, all these types of people who I think they are holding like entities in their body and working for. I believe they are working for the fallen angel agenda. I believe they have unclean spirits working through them from this fallen angel agenda. But that's who I believe a lot of these people are or working, or that is who's working through their vessel.
Okay, we'll get into that one because that'll be like our second subject there because that kind of falls in line with I don't know. I got to think of a name of these groups. The hive mind groups, the hive mind
The hive.
groups. Yeah, well, we'll lump that in with the hive mind groups. But David, also there was something that he used to say a lot in all his documentaries, and he in one of his documentaries in the clip that I watched, he said, "I got to make sure this gets into the documentary," and ever since I saw this, and this was a long, long time ago, this was probably like maybe in 2017, 2018, he's, and it stuck with me. It always, and I talk about this a lot, and I'm still trying to make sense of it. But when he said, so he learned this supposedly from the whistleblowers. The cabal itself is that they have to work within something they call the rules,
Mm-hmm.
the rules of war. And
Mm-hmm.
that it's very extremely important. He really wanted to make sure everyone understood this. The rules are a body of spiritual principles that they must follow in order to be allowed to exist.
Mm-hmm.
I always found that so fascinating. Like what the laws of war, and
Mm-hmm.
and one of the laws is that they have to tell us everything that's happening. They have to. And then he used Yeah, he used the example of oh man, what was that? World War Three. All the World War Threes are written in a book on display in a museum in London in a glass case.
Mm. That doesn't surprise me. They tell us everything.
Yeah,
We
they
just don't
have
listen.
to tell us
They
because
do.
the rules state that they have to tell us what they're doing. Therefore, so we allow it to happen. We
Yeah.
allow it to happen by doing nothing. And that
Yeah.
is us giving consent.
Yeah.
He taught this. And I
Exactly.
always thought that was so fascinating.
Yeah. But it's the truth. They call it universal law. A
Mhm.
universal law, you have to inform the everyone of what you're doing, who your allegiance is to, all of that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
you know, I think they've been doing it since the beginning of time. They tell us all the time. They tell us who their allegiance is to, through their celebs. Look at celebs aren't dressing up as beautiful angels. They're dressing up as demons and devils and imps. Like that's their allegiance. They're showing us, but we choose to never listen.
And by giving and they create our perception. Okay, now let's get into this before we start talking about these hive minds and everything else that you and I've been talking about the past week. Okay, perception versus influence. Okay, they influence our perception. Okay, what I really want to focus on regarding the perception is we are constantly being exposed to information through mainstream news, social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, all of those platforms that they have, and even alternative media spaces. And if you've been paying attention lately, there's a pattern. They have a pattern, you guys. Oh my gosh, the pattern for the last 3 weeks, every time I get on YouTube, is we're all going to die. 10 days of darkness. It's always the same thing over and over. Fear based headlines, catastrophes, predictions, the end of the world. Oh, yeah, end of the world. It's good. I'm telling you, since I was born, the end of the world was coming every year. Okay, seriously. When I was little, it was the atomic bomb. What about 2020? When the millennium, remember that? When the airplanes were
Yeah.
going to fall out of the sky, we were going to die then too.
Yeah.
Yeah, constant urgency and panic they put in us. You'll
Constant.
see, yeah, you'll see everything from a
Oh my goodness. And she's gone. Oh, she's back.
I'm sorry, you guys. They always are. I'm sorry, my connection is like spot on. But this happens to us when we start talking. Whenever we
Obvious.
talk about the cabal, um,
Yes.
but you'll see everything from like I said, from global collapse theories to extreme predictions about war, disaster, and sudden events, and it keeps just going. It never changes, but they'll change the style of it, or it's or they'll say that we got another planet that we're colliding with, or a meteor is going to come destroy us. It's always something in that in that perspective, or in that way. Not I didn't mean to use that word. Anyways, that's a constant shift. It's constantly shifting us, in different directions. Because when information is overwhelming and emotionally charged, it makes you feel powerless. Like there's nothing you can do, right?
Hmm.
And so, but there is something you can do. There's something we all can do. We are all mighty, powerful, and there's so much we can do. But anyways, with that being said, we're going to go in. We're going to start talking about this I guess epiphany I had about the hive minds.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All for it.
I know. I think it's so. Um, I'm going to read the what the description of a hive mind is, you guys. Okay, let's get into it that way. And this is just off of I think it's AI. Yeah, where I got it from. A hive mind is a collective mindset where a group of individuals acts as a single coordinated unit sharing intelligence and decision making. The term originated in biology to describe the behavior of social insects like bees and ants. There, the colony functions as a superorganism. So, I think for here we go, just the beginning of our show, we were talking about how we ask God, questions. Why this? How come this? Or what that? This and that. One of my questions has always been, who are these very popular, I guess, semi-famous spiritual people that we see, especially coming out of Sedona? Who are they? And is their following really real? Do they really have 20 billion followers? I don't think so. I think it's all exaggerated, you guys. And they have hive minds. They're the hive mind group. They're here to lead us into the false light. I've been saying they're false light for a long time. I mean, I'm talking from Eckhart, April Elizabeth,
That's crazy.
Bashard, Cryon, all of that. Because
they're not going to like you, Claudine.
why? Because I figured out who they are. Well, this is just my perspective. This is just my epiphanies that I'm having. I'm like, oh my God. No, because I have followed their work. Like, for a long time, I followed their work because I wanted to know what channeling was. I wanted to know, how does, what's his name? Tolle. I just said his name. Eckhart Tolle. How does he know so much about consciousness? And why do these other like weird, if you go on YouTube and they have like these like secret divine of the Galactic Federation spiritual I don't know, what are they, videos that they put out there? They talk about Eckhart Tolle a lot, and I'm like, what the hell is all of this about? Like, then when I learned about a hive mind, I'm like, oh, that's who they are.
Interesting. I've never really followed any of them or listened to them. Like I said, because it was spiritual. Like I don't want to know about it. Like unless I hear it or see it or feel it or get moved while they speak that this is something, I kind of just I've heard.
Well, they do move you. They're very good at what they do. They wouldn't make the money they're making right now, and if they weren't good at what they were doing.
For sure, but to say that they are speaking from these entities and that they are experiencing these like type of entities speaking through them, and like Elizabeth April says, she goes on the ships and like I don't know. I've lived my whole life from the age of 0 to 15 in a very high intense spiritual cult like place where it was all praying, and I never experienced spaceships. Like I've seen the sun turn into a spaceship, and like I went paralyzed, which everyone says when they have ETs visit, that's what happens. So I think that was an experience, but I've never just have these experiences where I'm going on ships, and she seems to be able to do it at whenever she wants. I just don't know if I believe that. I don't.
How about this? Here, I know I didn't get a chance to tell you this one. Maybe I did text you this. I'm not too sure. What about if they have been modified beyond anything that you know, Anne, beyond anything that any of us could ever know by MK Ultra programming?
Interesting. Yeah. But then they would have had to be in the program. Like
Britney Spears. Are.
Yeah, maybe. So what do they think they're actually having these experiences?
They do. But they are in their reality.
Yeah.
And they're the chosen ones, chosen to suffer.
I really, when it comes to spiritual stuff, I really have that's where I will always have this more of a, I'm going to question this. If I can't see it and I'm being told something I cannot see, I'm going to question it. And I'm going to question who you're saying it's from. And I'm going to question whether it's really God speaking through you. I've had too many bad experiences with this whole God told us, God is speaking through me to tell you to do this. And it's not God. Like, it's just whatever, demons speaking through them at the time. And I've been watching Netflix and the whole like Mormon stuff and some of the cults that have come out of there. And wow, like, yeah. And that's all based off of someone telling people that God is speaking through them and they must do what they are being told, even if it's a crime, because God is telling me to tell you to do it. And I'm God's mouthpiece. And people actually believe this stuff and they do it, and they commit crimes and they commit pedophilia, and they give their daughters to be married from like the age of 12 because some man is saying, God told me to tell you to do this. And yeah, I
God
draw the
doesn't work
line.
that way. That's not how I perceive it, you know. And not only that, but they've wiped God off this planet. They've disconnected us from God. So, like my question to them has always been, why can you do it and I can't do it? What's so
Yeah.
special about you? And here's another one, you guys. This is another one that has always, always triggered me, okay? The way they look.
I know.
They look so unhealthy. They look so unhealthy. Look at them. Look at their, like, I look at them and I'm just like, you want me to take spiritual advice from you?
Yeah.
And your butt can't even
Exactly.
lift 10 pounds for 5 minutes. No, no,
No. Or you
no.
stuff fast food down your face and you're fat and you drink like that, to me is a very bad vessel to be listening to
Oh,
any
and
kind of
on all their
spiritual.
social media, they're drinking. I have caught every single one of them on social media with drinks in their hands. I mean, I'm not 1,000% sure what was inside that in that glass, but it looked like a pretty nice cocktail to me.
Mm.
I don't think
Even,
it was
even
kava.
even someone who like does heaps of what is it that they take, that the gurus take, and they DMT and stuff. Even someone who
Mhm.
bases their spirituality off of like what they experience on these trips, don't even take seriously, because like that's their perception and that's their experience. That isn't necessarily what the spirit. That's just what they experience in that, from that, whatever it is. But you can't say that is God. That's spirituality. That's just your consciousness and your hologram opening up for what is good for you or what you're being told, but it's not for everyone. Yeah, I'm of the opinion and of the belief that like each individual has their personal spiritual guidance and everything around them, and someone can help guide you, but they can't really say like God tell, if you're not hearing it, you got to question when someone's saying God's telling me to tell you to do this. Question it. Don't just take it
Oh,
because
question
I'm gonna hear God.
everything.
You
Question
can hear
what
God.
we talk about. Yeah, question us. Question
100%.
everything. I gotta
Feel it
say,
for yourself.
I gotta say that I wouldn't be, where I am today. And I do feel like I'm a very successful spiritual. I'm in the spiritual community. I'm not a spiritual person. I don't practice spirituality, but I do feel I'm pretty successful in doing whatever I've made up in this. I do God's work. That is what I do. I
Mhm.
do God's work, and it's best for me to be in that, to do God's work, because I do have a straight connection to God. You know that I've always grateful for God and Mother Gaia, because they're the ones who I work with. I am their conduit. I understand that. Um,
Mhm.
and I have to save myself. We all have to save ourselves. Um, but you know, their energy, their divine spark, and everything about them is generated from an AI computer. And the longer they have been part of this AI computer, um, the more materium they become, more um, 3D.
Materialistic.
Yeah, materialistic. Exactly. Thank you for that. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it's just
The two and two don't really go hand in hand. There's a reason why the Bible and like all of the disciples and all people like what's his name, Saint Francis of Assisi, like one of the things that they do to serve God is they forsake everything. They even forsake their families, because the whole point of spirituality is to have as little as possible connected to your being, even your family. In true spirituality, you're supposed to be able to remove yourself from your physical human family and see them all for just who they are as a human being, and not that connect. Like your mother is the vessel that you came through, your father is, the vessel that gave the mother the seed and that you came through. But and you don't see them as your mother and father, you see them as like their person, who they are, their traumas, their lifetime, their and who they are to you on a human level, and you're supposed to be able to disconnect from it. So materialistic things is like the first thing that goes broop. So when you
Yep,
see
they
someone with
become the
a lot,
materium. Yeah, they become more and more materium. That material, material world. And
yeah,
another thing I think that they are too, and I use this word a lot for myself, which I should have just said a few minutes ago, is I do consider myself boots on ground. I am boots on ground doing God's work to the best of my ability, in truth and in harmony. It's all about truth and harmony, and flowing with the love of source. Um, but they are also boots on ground for the AI system.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I view Christians who are very like these full on born again Christian, that they just God, 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 Bible, Bible, Bible. I find them, I put them in that basket of like they are stuck on a very full on AI system,
Mm-hmm.
because that AI system created that religion, that Bible, that whole narrative about God and Jesus, and they are so stuck in it, and that AI system that was written for them. You can't tell them anything other, because their brain is stuck on that AI system. And I've dealt with a few people, and it's like, oh yeah, I get it now. They're on that AI system. Now I'm starting to understand how the AI systems have been created, made for us.
And
It's
those
not
were
like
made
you're
by
gonna
the
go
fallen ones. The fallen ones, their agenda was to do the AI, to do the work for them.
fallen angels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fallen angels created the AI. I think they did. I think they created the AI systems, and in this AI system, they all send and receive information to each other through the same central processing unit. And the central processing unit determines whether or not this information is going to be dispersed to the rest of the world through all their social media platforms.
Interesting.
That's just how I feel about it. I mean, they don't have any original thoughts, you guys. You are
Mhm.
us basic people, you guys, who just get up and go to work and put our pants on one leg at a time, and who just do the best we can. Maybe you're just a stay-at-home mom or whatever. You're doing more for this planet than what these people are doing. Honestly,
Mhm.
you are the real source light. And so we just want you to take from this show, you guys, today, is that be careful of who you're listening to, what you're listening to, because there is a lot of trash out there, a
Mhm.
lot. And I know everyone's seeking and searching for answers because it's so crazy out there right now. And it's
Yeah.
changing, like Ann said earlier in the show, it is changing so rapidly.
For sure. The timelines are definitely like constantly shifting and changing.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I feel it. I feel at times our matrix really speeds up. Other times I feel it's kind of gone a bit, slower. Everything's kind of just like ticking along. But sometimes these events happen and different things happen. And I really feel it just start going in my brain. Even my music that I listen to will start skipping beats. And I'm like, what's happening? But I just think that's our timeline speeding up and our matrix, shifting and changing. So
I feel it. No, I feel it. I mean, time is. I think we all are feeling it. And then they've got so much crap coming at us. I mean, every day, like this whole David Wilcock thing is like we're behind the eight ball on this one.
yeah, I think so.
I
I
can't
think
keep
this will
I
just
can't keep up. It's too
no,
much.
no. I think this will just keep like I said, snowballing, and we're gonna start having different conversations come out of it and different theories and different ways. Like, his death and this whatever happened is definitely going to spark some, like, conversations around the place, especially for the spiritual community. But I never realized just how big the spiritual community was, to be honest. Like, for this matrix, I just kind of
Oh,
always
it's so important. It's the false light. It is
Yeah.
the false light.
Hmm.
I'll say it again. It is false. It is false. Hey, Jesus warned us. They said, hey, it's going to come looking like angels. You're not going to know the difference. It even says that somewhere. I believe he says that somewhere where you won't even know the difference between
Yeah.
light and false light. That's how good it's going to look.
Yeah.
And the one message that I hear so much throughout my whole life was, Claudine, watch the signs. Watch the signs. Fairy tales, false light. And I fell for it too. When I was full of parasites and they had a good grip on me, they did. They did. I believed in all this crap too. I believed that what these people, like they were some gifted. Oh my God, more saviors, more savior buy-ins. But again, I questioned everything. I started questioning some of these people way back when. You and I have been talking about some of these people for a very long time and watching them.
Hmm. Yeah, I've
And
always the one thing that's why I like always talk to you, because it's like you knew more about these people. I kind of was just like learning, and I still don't really know because I don't really go and investigate many people. It's too much. Sometimes I will like go and watch something or research, and it will just open my brain, and I get some like crazy dream, and I just it's too much sometimes. So I limit myself to what I open my little mind up to. I remember one time I watched David Icke, and like my brain just triggered from all the stuff he was saying. I was like, what? Because I guess it was so true. It was like, I thought bombs were going to start falling on me and I was going to be taken out by Secret Service. Because I'm like, what he's saying is all true.
oh yeah, I know I mean, he's another one. He's another one of these hive minds.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, it just always bugged me. Like, what these people? Who are they? And why are they here? What is their agenda? What is their role in this whole entire script here? And so now I get it. And
I think there's a lot of entities too that are trying to like get information out there to help wake people up. So I do think like David Icke, I do think entities of some sort, like especially from these planets or whatever, gave him this information. They do reach people. I do think sometimes like what's his name? The bald guy that sits up Bashar or whatever his name is.
Bashard,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do think sometimes entities are speaking through him and like helping us and teaching us things. They can't show themselves like they used to, like the Aborigines. They had the star people come down and physically show them in person, but we don't have that anymore. So I do think sometimes we have entities that go into people's bodies and speak to them and give them information, and for us to like, for the people who are looking for answers and broaden your mind or awaken your mind a bit more. So I don't think it's all rubbish. And that's why sometimes it does trigger my brain. Elizabeth April has never triggered my brain, but David Icke has triggered my brain. David Wilcock, the few things that he triggered my brains. Whenever someone triggers my brain, it's kind of like my psychic thing going, like my psychic side just understands it. So I do think things are speaking to us from the other side and trying
To me, it's God and Mother Gaia.
Oh, your dog is open behind you.
That was Jewel Moon.
Oh my God, that was real creepy.
Right through that door, didn't she?
She just slid it right open. I'm like, that better be something human that did that. See what I mean? I question everything.
Now, here's a real spiritual being, okay?
She's trying to tell us that these entities do come in and speak through people to tell us things. She's trying to say, this is real, guys.
Yeah,
but just be aware of who you're listening to and what you're taking on and what you're taking in and what you're believing.
I'm trying to grab her, but she won't let me. She's just sitting there looking at me. She doesn't see what's so funny. Uh, yeah, this has been a real interesting topic. If listeners are out there and you guys follow these people and you adore these people and you give your energy to these people, that's exactly what you're doing. You're feeding you're feeding them. You're giving them what they need for their materium, and again, you're giving up your power. So trust yourself. Everything that you want to know and anything that you ever wanted to know, all answers are inside of you. And you too have a straight connection to source. And these same things happen to everyone else. When you keep having thoughts about something, that's what kept happening to me last week. I kept having these thoughts about David Wilcock, and I'm like, and I really didn't want anything to do with it. I really didn't. I didn't want. To be honest with you guys, I'd rather come on here and do my show and talk about mushrooms, and talk about fascia, and talk about the liver and the kidneys, and talk about detoxing. Those are the things that I have passion about, and what I really love talking about. But when something just keeps nudging at you and nudging at you, that's when I know, oh, darn it. Let me just get this out there. And then the nudge stops.
Yeah.
It
That's
does.
the angels. That's how they work. I get it all the time. It's so annoying. It's the worst when you get it for someone, a particular individual, and you know that you need to tell them and you want to tell them, but a lot of the time the individual is not open to it. But it's so annoying. It'll just spin in your head until you spit it out to the person. And you spit it out, and the person kind of just goes, "Huh?" And you go, "Well, at least it's out." So like, it's not in me anymore. But I know what you
Yeah.
mean. They just niggle in your brain and they don't shut up.
Yeah. It's just, that's what happened to me last week. Yeah, I was messaging you. I'm like, oh my gosh. I go, okay. And then when you message me, you're like, let's just talk about that. I was like, oh, okay, good. Let's get this done.
I
And
kept hearing it.
And I'm praying last night. No, literally, I was praying and I'm in meditation and I'm telling Source, let's just talk about the liver. I want to talk about my liver flukes that came out of me last week. No, 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 you're not. No, you're not.
I could hear David Wilcock. David Wilcock. David Wilcock. Like I'm like,
And
okay,
then
I'll
you
go
go,
watch
yeah,
his videos.
then you go down then you went down the line of let me see who this guy is, and you did all your research. So I was like, well, we might as well go ahead, and it all worked out just perfectly. It was Source definitely was working on both of us for sure.
Definitely. And this is definitely something in our timeline that is like it was written in the stars. It was meant to happen and it's happening and it's for a reason. And yeah, we have to wait and see what comes about from it. But I definitely feel like it is a very big thing in our timeline for a particular community, which is I guess, the people that we talk to and people you work with. And yeah, that's just what I feel from this event very strongly. Ever since it happened, I just feel like, yeah, okay, this is a very interesting thing to happen in our spiritual community. And, we need to just like kind of think about it, understand what we're working with, what kind of energies we're working with and against too. So,
Yes, for sure, for sure. And what you're listening to and what you're watching, I have a client of mine who keeps going to psychosis, and he keeps watching these. He sends them to me like daily.
yeah.
Here, this he's watching it. Let me get him. Oh, just
You have to be careful what you're watching because 4D is its own dimension and it's where a lot of the entities and demons reside is in 4D. And that's the whole point of the internet is they have it's a way to transfer a lot of these demons into humans at a very fast pace. They can literally come out of our screens and affect us. I've had it happen to me many, many times before, especially in my sleep. And Claudine has disappeared again, so we will wait for her to come back. she's back.
Sorry. God, you know what? It's so. I have a clear connection. I can see my monitor right here, over here, my Wi-Fi monitor, and it says we have a clear connection. So I don't know what's going on. But I guess our hour is up.
Yep.
We don't have any comments coming in. No one's asking questions. So
We'll just leave it there for people who want to watch it, and if they are called to watch it and feel a need to watch it, then it's for them.
well, we've got 5 people watching right now.
Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, I always have this like, I don't even, for some reason, I never seem to care who's listening to me. If I feel like I'm supposed to say it, I don't care.
I know we don't even advertise.
No,
We don't advertise this, you guys. Again, we're on every other Monday, American time, and then every other Tuesday,
Australian
in
time.
Australia time. And our next live will be on my calendar, guys, and I will let you know where we are at. Our next live will be on the 16th.
The 16th? No, the 19th.
Well, 18th, the 18th, the 18th.
The 18th, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, it'll be the 18th.
With me.
You guys have any questions or anything? Go ahead and chime in. We love to hear from you guys.
Well, I see here someone says the archons harvest our energy. And yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Archons are upon us everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you were going to talk about Bill Gates.
Oh, yes. Well, someone said about Bill Gates. I heard about Gates. I don't know anything about Bill Gates other than he created Microsoft, brought in COVID. But I've never dreamt about Bill Gates. But I have dreamt about Dr. Fauci. And for me, ever since I have experienced Dr. Fauci's energy, which I understand it to be some kind of like dark angel. I put it down to the fallen angels. But he was like some kind of fallen angel. And he made it very clear that he has a job to do here. And that's just how it is. And when he's finished, he goes back to whatever he was promised. He gets whatever he was promised, and he goes back to his post. And that's just who he is. And it was very matter of fact. He's not here as like some, demon. I don't know how to. He just was who he was. It wasn't like I'm a bad person putting bad things. It's just, this is my job. This is what's planned. This is and it's going to happen. The plan is put in place. I'm here to finish my job. And so for me, all of these types of people are kind of the same. They all have very similar energy. And to me, I just call it, I just have the very easy name of fallen angel agenda. I think they're all working with this type of agenda. They have bloodlines that have been, been around for, forever. And they're bloodlines that come from the fallen angel bloodline. So they can, the spirits that come through them and reincarnate through them. All we see is the human. We don't see the spirit that's come through that human body. And they are from birth, put into these, a lot of them are Freemasons, all about spirituality, even like Jewish people, the Kabbalah. It's all about learning who you are and what your soul purpose is. Like, they don't just grow up like us and like, oh, I think I need to get married now. And now I got to buy a house. They grow up and they get taught that this is your purpose. This is who your soul is.
You're
inside.
special.
You're special. And because they come from these bloodlines, these spirits can come and work through them because their DNA allows it to happen. So, that's on the human level, and then on the spirit level, who they are inside them. And, it's not a human thinking, oh, I'm going to go do these bad things. It's a person going, this is my sole purpose in life, is to do these things and to bring forth this plan and this agenda for our matrix and our world. So yeah, Bill Gates for me is very much in that same whole group of what Dr. Fauci was showing to me. And the way they showed him to me, like, I'll tell you my dream. So I was in a very fancy yacht, very fancy, like, boat. And he's there and he's all crippled. And I was like helping him. And I kept turning around. And every time I would turn around, I could see him standing up and trying to reach for something. And I'd turn around and be like, and he'd quickly sit back down. He's like, no, I'm a crippled man. And after the third time, I've like seen him stand up and I've caught him in the act. And I said, I see you. You're standing up. You are not crippled. There's nothing wrong with you. And as he turned around, he like revealed himself to me. And he was just this beautiful angel. Like his energy, it's not so much what they look like, it's the energy that you see in your minds and and it was just this bright, beautiful angel. And like, oh, it was so enticing. And it's like, to me, that is what like a fallen angel or a dark angel would look like. And my angels would not let me go into his energy. I wanted to. It was so strange. Like I saw it and it was so dark and it's like, oh, he's so bad. But all I wanted to do was go into his energy and just let myself be sucked into his energy because it was so enticing. And through the whole dream, my angels had this big bright light between us, and I could never go through the bright light. Like even I went to take a picture with him. I'm like, no, we need to take a picture, a selfie, because I want to show that I met Dr. Fauci. And I tried to go and stand next to him, and I just had this massive blinding light that just wouldn't let me go and merge into that energy. And like when I tried to take the picture, I was blinded. It was just so much light. But yeah, that kind of, once I didn't really understand that dream straight away. But as time has gone on, I've had a lot of people like, hello, Jewel Moon, you're so sneaky.
She says, I'm the real spiritual being on this planet.
Yeah. Like trying to tell us, like, guys, just listen. These entities are everywhere. I'm one of them.
Yes.
I'm here to with you. But
yeah,
yes.
that was a cool dream. I remember when you had that dream. I feel like we talked all day that day.
Well, what I've come to understand is there's a verse in the Bible and a prophecy about how in the end times Satan has his clones set up here on earth for these unclean spirits to come and work through. And this is a prophecy, and this is a verse in Revelations and in the Bible about how these unclean spirits are coming to work through these clones that have been set up here on earth to fulfill these types of things. So when I saw that and I had that dream and someone told me that, I went, oh, that makes sense. So these are the unclean spirits that I'm dreaming about. These are the clones that are been prophesized about, that I'm picking up their energies. I'm getting to see who they are behind that human suit. So yeah, I think
it's interesting. Yeah.
It was.
I like that. I like it. I like your dreams. Your dreams are always very informative
and very insightful.
Insightful too. Yes. And okay, so I'm going to change the subject a little bit here, and then I'm going to do our closing statement, you guys. But I was counseling someone today, and they're going through a really hard time. They were in business with somebody, and that person has completely like ghosted them, took their name off of everything. So anyways, we were talking about, I was, what's the lesson here? And he's just like, and there was a few things that the guy did that raised a couple flags like a while ago. I'm like, that right there is showing you that the person's integrity is not intact right then and there. So moving forward, he learned a lesson, and he goes, well, he was just a really nice guy. And this is something I say quite often. I even tell my children this. People are only nice until they're nice. Nice is good, but nice is disguised. It's disguise. It's disguise, you guys. Okay. Now, then he looked at me when I said that, and he goes, did you know that Trump changed the name of ICE to nice?
Did he really?
He did. It's real. It's a true story. So I'm just like, oh, there I go. One of my perspectives, one of my things. Perfect example. You're only nice until you're not nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ice becoming nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so true. But yeah, don't just because someone's nice, from the get-go.
They're
Don't
only nice until they're nice. So, you know, oh gosh. Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny when, hold on, you guys, Jill Moon just keeps going in that light.
She's so active.
No, she's a little shit. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do our closing statement. We went over a little bit, but that's okay. We came on late anyways. Okay. So staying grounded here, you guys. Here's the key point that Ann and I want you to make from this. Not everything you see, especially online, is designed to inform you clearly. Some of it is designed to grab your attention and amplify emotions. That doesn't mean ignoring everything. It means being intentional about how you process it. Your perception isn't just passive, it shapes how you respond to the world around you. Instead of getting pulled into constant cycles of fear or speculations, please pause before reacting to extreme claims. Look for verified information when possible. Notice how certain contents make you feel. Stay grounded in what you can actually control, okay? And that's not a whole lot of anything, except for what goes in your mouth and out of your mouth. Because at the end of the day, your focus and your decision matter more than any headline out there, you guys.
Yep,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep. So,
And everything you take on affects your energy. So you got to really think about, is it good? Is it good for me to take on in my energy? Is it conducive? Is it going to be a positive thing? Like, yeah, is it going to up my energy? You know, fear is the lowest vibration you can have. So
they want you in fear.
Things on that
Mhm.
make you fearful or give you anxiety, or because that lowers your vibration. You don't want to be lowering your vibration. So stay away from fear, anxiety, anything that feeds that.
And they're always putting that out there because, see, you know, the way you perceive the information and the way you react is what is how they feed. This feeds them to continue to go. So, honestly, you guys just keep creating, just keep loving, and keep working on yourself, because that's all you're really expected to do. And don't feed into this. Just don't into any of it. Just because they have a really good way of perceiving everything in a way that is very tricky. They trick. It's all about trickery.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say stay away from it. Don't even bother. Oh, this is cute. Nova says, it's everywhere. Even the people I love. It's so strange. Oh, I'm sorry. She said, wait, we'll go back to that. But she says, it's Jeez Louise. I can't even work this thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got it now. The divine had me turn on the TV on right at the right moment. LOL. That's funny. It will. It'll have you turn on the TV just right when you need to. So it's something
absolutely.
to hear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, the spiritual realm is becoming very, very much more active, and it's very real. I have experiences in my awake time that just like make me go, okay, I need to be very careful with what I'm doing on an energy level. Like I had one night, I had no one at home. My boyfriend was not here. My daughter had just left, and I'm pretty sure the house was locked up. And I walked into the room, I'm doing my hair, and I'm like, I'm not scared of anything. And I'm said it out loud. I'm like, I'm not afraid of the dark. You could be sitting on my bed as a ghost, and I wouldn't be afraid of you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm being very like, I'm not afraid. Next thing I know, after about 10 minutes after saying this, I just see a toy. My sleeping toy comes flying in the room from the dark room, and it just like plops right next to me, and I like shit myself. I'm like, no one is in here. This is not, what the hell? And I was scared. I was so scared. I picked up the toy and I actually said out loud, I'm like, this is not funny, you guys. Like, I was so scared. The only thing I could think of was like, call your boyfriend, call him right now, and like at least like have someone you're talking to while you go in the room to look at what it is. And So I call him, and as I call him, his phone starts to ring because he came home early and he didn't tell me, and he snuck into the house. And I'm like, you were possessed to do that. You were possessed to do that, to test me. Don't do that. And normally he comes home and he's like, hey, Ann, and but I don't know how he snuck in the house and he was that quiet right after I had said that. I'm like,
That
that
is
is
funny.
spiritual realm playing tricks on me. So it's very active. Be very careful, everybody.
Yes, it is. It is. It's very active.
They'll tell you to turn on your TV so you can hear something they want to tell you. They will do that.
Or the radio, or to go, yeah,
Everything.
all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Walk out of your house at the right time because they want you to see something. Like, it will happen anytime, anywhere. So
messages are everywhere. The messengers are everywhere.
mhm.
For sure. Well, okay, you guys, this concludes our live for today. And again, we'll be live again at hopefully at 5:22. And, well, Arizona time. Everyone else is different. And then your time comes on Tuesday at what? What time is it there? At 5:22 for you?
About 10:22.
10:22. Okay. Yeah, we'll try not to be late next week, or the next time we come on. But I was overwhelmed today with work. Oh gosh, I really didn't think this live was going to happen. Honestly,
I didn't either.
3 of my children out of 5 of them all called me today for mom advice. Mom.
Oh my God.
And then as I'm just getting ready to go live, one of my kids come in here. Mom, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, I'm just about to go live. I go, okay, this is just not going to happen today.
Oh
And then, yeah, he was real quick though. So that's why we're late. And then on top of it, I had like 5 clients today. So it's been,
your name should be Monique too, because Monique means counselor. So your name is Monique too. This is just the Monique show.
It's the Monique show.
This is the Monique show. When we're on, we're Monique's. That's just our new names. There are new spiritual names, Monique.
Monique.
It means counselor and guider, especially for like spiritual stuff. So you're Monique's.
And now I gotta get stuff together, and I know some of you guys are watching, and yes, I will hopefully I'll just have all of your packages out early in the morning tomorrow, because I don't know if I'm going to make it to the post office tonight. It is 7:40 here, and I'm usually asleep by 9, so
yeah, go home and sleep.
For sure, I will. Okay, you guys, everyone, have a happy everything, and take care of yourself, and keep detoxing and stay grounded. I love you guys, and thank you for watching.